All right, this is Colton Coleman, and this is how to correctly fill a tool belt, right? So, first things first, make sure to get one that fits you, right? Things like that. It shouldn't be falling down, it shouldn't be strangling your waist either, stuff like that. So I'm just going to go over a few key points on how to correctly fill and correctly select the right belt for you. So basically you're just going to want to kind of mess around with pocket arrangements, things like that that work better and that you specifically like. And then, obviously again, go from there. So, first thing for me, safety all the time. Doesn't matter if you're working or not, if you're on the job site, safety glasses should be on. It's not worth the risk of potential things ruining your eyes, right? Big part of your job is being able to see, right? Let's not ruin that. So, next thing I'd say, big point to drive home. All the handles you see, everything is handled down, right? Nothing sticking out, nothing like this, right? Sticking out, just let's say I need to get down here and reach something. I just scraped out my whole forearm just because I had this sticking up instead of the handle. If I hit the handle, no problem, keep going, right? It's not worth dealing with the extra scratches, injuries, potentially bleeding, things like that. It's just not worth it, right? Next thing is, so I'm just going to go through each tool, drill. Obviously you're going to have to screw in some things. So this is for, let's say you need to screw two boards together, screw a stud in, things like that, but you don't have the nail gun. Drills are very handy. Usually have a drill bit in there, obviously, but for demonstration purposes I don't. Again, this, down. Sharp part would be the drill bit goes down. Handle sticking up, easy to grab. You don't have to sit there and fumble with it trying to find the handle, right? A lot easier. Next thing's going to be tape measure. Pretty obvious. Measuring things. Has the measurements there. It also has the 1/4, half, 3/4, that whole sort of thing in there, as well as eighths. So it makes measuring that much easier. Then we have wire strippers. They do exactly what they sound like. You'll lay the wire in there, in the top there. You'll pull on the handle, and as you can see, it will take the rubber around it and pull it away so you have access to the bare wire. Next, just like I showed you earlier, screwdriver, meant for screwing screws. Does the same thing as a drill, but it does it slower, but there's certain instances where drills either can't fit or shouldn't be used on certain things. That's what this would be for. Then, wire cutters. They do exactly what they sound like. They're just like scissors, but they're shorter and they're very strong. So you just put a wire in there, push this till you hear a little snip. That wire just got cut. Next, needle nose pliers. These are the same thing as regular pliers, obviously, but as the name suggests, they have a needle nose. So these can fit into very small areas, like an electrical box or an outlet box, things like that. They can fit into those super small areas. And they have a cutter built in down here. 2-in-1 tool, very useful, right? Again, as you can see, handle colors are all different. If they're all in my belt, oh, I need wire cutters. I know I need to go for the blue handle, right? Makes it way easier. If you, ahead of time, buy tools that are in the colors that you need them to be, right? Then, on this side, electricity marker, right? Hold the button on the top. Then it's going to turn on, just like so. It'll light up green. And if you stick it into an outlet and it still lights up green, means the outlet's dead, you're good to work, right? But if you stick it in and it lights up red and it starts beeping at you, it means there's still electricity there, which either means you haven't turned on the power yet, or if you're at the end of a project, it means everything's wired up right, you did everything correctly, the outlet's good to go and it's working how it should be. Again, do the same thing to shut it off. Hold the button, it shuts off. It'll go in the exact same spot that the pencil does on the other side, just on the reverse side. So again, pencil, marker, obviously for marking things, but on two different surfaces. This is for wood, and this is for essentially everything else that a pencil wouldn't work on. Already did the drill, tape measure, all of these. Next, hammer. Very obviously what this is for, but again, using things correctly leads to less safety issues, right? So again, going to want to hold it down here, not way up here. This isn't how hammers are meant to be used. They purposely have the rubber grip at the bottom. And as well as this down here, get a hammer with a little bit of a swoop at the end. Makes it way harder to drop it or lose grip of it, basically, even if it's wet outside. So again, used for hammering things, as the name suggests, right? Again, everything in here is proper. If you have things sticking up, you're going to get scrapes, things like that, and the tools themselves will break. That's why whenever everything is down, you're protecting all of these little delicate parts in it that otherwise would be just exposed to anything walking by that could brush it or mess it up, things like that. So then you have these two pockets on the front here that I haven't talked about yet. These are going to be for your different types of screws, nails, things of that nature, right? So just as some examples, I have some bronzish, goldish colored screws, about 1 inch. Then I have these bigger matte gray screws, about 3 inches, 2.5 maybe, things like that. Just pick two different ones just so I can show you an example there. But these are purposely wider pockets. I don't know if you can see, but they're meant to be easy to grab, because if you have to push really hard to dig in there, then you're going to end up poking your finger hard on those screws and nails that you have in there. It's meant to just be easy access. Again, you'll have gloves on. So grab which ones you need, go to work, just like that. So again, let's say you're not an electrician. You won't need this. So again, that's why the belt, it specifically goes with which sort of thing you're supposed to be going for. So that's going to be that for you. That's the end of the demonstration there. Went over safety concerns, things of that nature, as well as how to properly stock a belt.